I'm already wrong. And if you go to half the Walmarts in Miami, sorry, that's what you're gonna get. If you, or even worse, if you go into another store, hi, may I help you? Can I help you? Can I show you our sales? I just want to know where the jeans are. Well, let me let you, the jeans are over there, but our tops are on sale. They're 25% off. It's buy one, get one free. Oh my God, lady, I just want to buy a pair of jeans. I get frustrated with that. So what do? I walk myself out of that store and I go to the next department store and I buy the same pair of jeans I was going to buy over here. The product is still the same. It hasn't changed. 30 seconds for this person to lose the sale and 30 seconds for this person to win it from me. It's no different with you guys. It can take 30 seconds to build that relationship. It can take your points of contact. It doesn't matter as long as you're selling yourself. And that's where art comes in, the art of selling. And so what is art? Art is acknowledge, respond, and transition. So I'm going to give you a little look at what this would look like, and then we're going to break it down. So a few months ago, I was sitting in front of a client, and as some of you may know, I also am a Mary Kay independent sales consultant. I love it for many reasons. But I was sitting across from a customer, and she was looking through a brochure, and she said to me, I want this. And she pointed to an item that's like comparative or comparable to Proactive. You guys familiar with Proactive? Yes? Okay. So she went on for 10 minutes, and she said, oh my gosh, I think I need this because my skin, and I have acne, and I cannot stand it, and I have a wedding coming up, and I want to get something that's not going to break me out worse. And I get so self-confident when, self-conscious, when I have these breakups. It's terrible. And I didn't say much. I just listened to her. When she was done, I said to her, well, let me ask you a question. Do you have acne all over all the time? This is a constant thing where your face is red and puffy and even hurts it, a little bit? No, she said. I said, okay. Do you have maybe breakouts that come out maybe on your forehead, on your cheek, when you eat something in particular, or in times of stress? Yeah. And so I said to her, okay. Well, I don't think that you need this. This is formulated for people with acne. But in the same line, but without having to buy the whole thing, there's this separate product, and it's targeted for breakouts. And I think that you should get this. Oh, okay. Can I add this to your order? That's what a transaction looks like. Acknowledge, respond, and transition. So let me break it down for you. Oh, we have somebody else. Can we get her card and a ticket, please? Okay. So the first one is probably the most important one. It's acknowledge. And the true definition of acknowledge is to express recognition and to take notice of. So what's the one skill that you really need to acknowledge someone?
Repeat back to them.
Listening. I'll take it. Listening! I actually believe that the main reason why we fail to sell is because we fail to listen. Even if we honestly, truly believe in our product or service, even if we believe in ourselves, what was I gonna say?
Listening.
It takes a practice and honed skill to listen during a sales transaction. Okay, so when we're afforded the opportunity to get in front of our customer, what do?
Listen.
Yeah.
Take it. We start talking. We tell the customer why the product is so good. Oh my God, look at it, it's so good. It's better than the competitor. It's gonna save your life. It's gonna change your life. It's so affordable. Look how shiny it is. It's the best. I'm the best. This is the best. You have to get it. Right? I heard a lot of talking when you guys were trying to sell your products earlier. Hint, hint. So I believe that in the best selling situations, we're doing more listening than talking. Okay. So I recently came to Fort Lauderdale. As most of you know, I moved to Orlando. I came all the way to Fort Lauderdale because I was afforded the opportunity to go to a business coaching seminar. We have another guest. Can we get her a ticket also? And There was only 6 of us there. It was super intimate and it was amazing. There was this one guy there that the reason he was there was because in a few hours from that seminar, he was about to make the deal of his life. It meant a lot of money for him, a lot of money for his company, and because he was new to his company, he felt the pressure to make this sell. So the business coach did a run-through with him, a one-on-one, and we all got to watch. And it was awkward. It was terrible. He did terrible. He had already shared with us his pressure of making this sell. And it showed. It showed, it was almost to the point of desperation. And when it was over, we all kind of stared, and the business coach took over. And so she continued, and we delved a little bit more into the psychology of the sale, some of which I'm sharing with you today. So she did a second run-through. And right before she did the second run-through, she told him, you know, we all learned how important it is to listen, especially at the beginning of the conversation. Guess what happened the second time? The second time, it was like we were watching 2 different people. This time, he didn't say much. So he let the customer, which was the business coach, ask the questions. And he answered only what she asked. And he answered it precisely. And when he was done, he delivered her a package, the price, and like I said, it was just a scenario, but the rest of us that sat there going, all clapped for him. You could feel it and you can visually see his confidence build right in front of us. To me, it was mind-altering because it changed my perspective as well. So by using the art of selling, he was able not to show up and throw up. He didn't machine gun through his facts. He didn't try to convince the customer why his product was so great. He was able to deliver them a nice, neat, customized package. It was the same package he was trying to do the first time. But this time he was able to deliver it in such a way that immediately the customer had an emotional connection because it addressed all of their concerns. So whether you're selling flowers or a photography package, car parts, designer jeans, accounting services, wedding planning services, you're doing a service to your customer. Because understanding what they want and how they want it and what they need it and what they're willing to pay for it gives you the ability to better package it for them. And that's one of my all-time favorite skills. It's listening. Because what they want is what they need. Not what you want to sell them is what they need. Make sense? Yes? Are we awake?
Yes.
Yes? She gets a ticket. She said yes. She said it loud. Okay. All right. So the next thing is respond. R. When discussing your product or service with your customer, usually goes like this. You talk for a few seconds, your few seconds pitch, and then they share with you what they want it, how they envision it, and then come the objections. Aren't those fun? So what are a few objections that you guys, because we gotta know how to respond. And if we're gonna be faced with objections, then we gotta know what to say, right? So what are a few objections, a common one? Yes?
Price.
Price. Look at that, number 1. Give him 2 tickets for answering and for saying the number 1 most common objection. So I touched upon this earlier during our lunch, so I'll say it just briefly. When the customer has an objection or a question about the price, I was a wedding planner for 10 years. There wasn't a single customer, not once, that came to me and said, I want you and I want to pay you everything that you want, I want all your services and I just love you. Not once. Every single time I had to justify my services, even though they're the ones that came to me. So how did I do it? I told them, what?
Value.
Value. Yes, I share with them the unique value, another ticket, of the product or service.
Can you look at her notes?
Where it saved them money, how I saved them on stress. your product or service is going to help someone. You focus on how you are unique and how you're going to help them. Any other objection real quick? Anybody? Yes?
One objection we get, we're a venue, and people say, oh, you're too far away.
Don't ask me a question that's not on my paper.
It's got to be valued. So valued.
I'm not ready to make it
I'm not ready to make a commitment yet. Timing. Timing. Oh my God. I will answer your question in a second. I'm not ready. Timing. That's one of my favorites, and I think that's the one that I get the most. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, here's a solution. So, a lot of times they'll say, "Well, I'm not sure right now. Can you call me in a month, or I'll call you in a month?" Who has heard? I'll call you in a month. I'll call you in a few days. I'll let you know. Raise your hand up high and proud. I know, right? Okay.
Checks in the mail.
I don't even get that. I don't even get that. So,
Guys, don't call.
simply, here's a solution. Start by listing all the benefits, you know, of course, we already go through that part. But the next step is to make it as easy as possible for them to hire you. Because the truth is, if they're busy today, they can't time manage themselves enough to have a conversation and make a decision on you when they already know that they need your product or service. Chances are that in a month, they're going to be just as busy and just as out of their minds busy. So let's facilitate the process for them. Okay, so a lot of times we say, we'll call you, and then they leave out our doors, and that's a lost lead. So what do? I asked this question to a friend of mine last night who was here, but I will not mention her name, and she said, oh, I emailed her. Did she email you back? No, I'm very upset. Okay, well, you should be. Well, guess what? You can email them, but you should pick up the phone and call them. And there's a stat I didn't put here. I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't. But it's something, Shane, look this up for me, brother. Do a girl a favor. I think it's something like, I'm making up a stat. I'm just going to make it up. I'm just going to lie because it's a lot. It's like 87% of sales. You have an 80% better chance of closing a deal if you contact them within 24 hours of your original meeting. When I email you your presentation, it'll have the right number. But whatever, it's a lot. And even if it's just a 10% better chance, I'll take my 10% chances if it means I'm just going to make a phone call the next day. But we don't do it, do we? Not all the time, and not most of the time. The next thing that I would do is contact them, and even if they don't answer, I would say, hi Nancy, thank you so much for coming in. It was such a pleasure meeting you and your groomsmen and your dad. It was such a wonderful, I'm so looking forward to working with you. I've gone ahead and emailed you my contract. It lays pretty much everything out that we discussed today, and if you go ahead and decide to work with me, just sign it and send it back, or call me if you have any questions. Why? Why is this such an important tactic? And I hate that word, but why is this such an important technique when timing is the objection? Because you've just facilitated it for them. So, if they're so busy, and they're gonna go meet with another tuck shop on Thursday, and oh my gosh, I have a meeting, I was supposed to meet these other people. Oh my God, I don't have time for this. I mean, Brights Magazine said I have to interview at least 3 vendors in every category, and I'm gonna break the rules here if I don't do it. They're busy. I know that when I was getting married, I thought to myself, oh, forget it, I don't even care anymore. I'm not going. I called the first person I went to and said, here, I'm ready, let's do this. If I had their contract, it would have been even better. So there's a technique to help you with the timing.